need to explain the instructions to you really carefully before we do this. Okay, so let me show you that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some numbers. I'm going to give you 3 numbers, which are the first 3 numbers of a sequence. And as a group, you're going to figure out what the sequence is. Okay, so by the way, anyone who's done any maths, if you've done any high-level maths, you know that any sequence of numbers, any random sequence of numbers, you can find a mathematical equation to fit that if you've done that sort of stuff. But this is nothing like that. You could have done this in primary school, all right? So it's not a fancy sequence. But okay, let me show this to you, and we'll go through the instructions really carefully. Okay, so don't type. I'm going to ask you to type in the chat, but not just yet. Let me make sure my thing's working. Good, it is. All right. So I'm going to give you the numbers, and when I do, what I want you to do in the chat is type in another number, and I will tell you whether it's in the sequence or not. So we're going to have these 2 lists here. One is going to be the numbers that are in the sequence and one that aren't, and some that aren't. Okay, so again, please don't type just yet. So, even though Vicky says I hate maths, this is not very difficult maths, Vicky, I promise you. So let me tell you the first 3 numbers in the sequence which I'm going to give you. 4, 8, 16. Okay, and then there's a whole bunch of other numbers in the sequence. So even if you think you know or you want to guess, don't guess what the sequence is just yet. I'm going to give you the chance to do that, to see who the smarty pants, but don't do that just yet. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to ask you to give me a number, and I will tell you whether it's in the sequence or not. So for example, let me give you a couple of freebies. I will tell you that 64 is in the sequence. I will tell you that 10 is not. 256 is in the sequence. Okay, now leave it to you. So before we do that, let me just bring this up so we can see the responses. So I think the way the system's set up, you'll only be able to do 1 response. Only 1 will count. So please do that now. 131072. Okay, so 128 is in the sequence. Yes. 131072. I'm guessing is in the sequence. 64 I've already said is in the sequence. Any others? Anyone want to guess a number that's not in the sequence? There's no penalty for guessing numbers that are not, but you might want to test. So 9 is correctly not in the sequence. 3 is not in the sequence. 1 is not in the sequence. 5 is not in the sequence. Okay, let me get. I think people are kind of coming to something. Okay, I can see 77. 77 is in the sequence. I can see a 29. 29 is in the sequence. 57 is in the sequence. I think some people are changing what they had in their mind. 65 is in the sequence. All right. Okay, I think we've done enough. 512. I saw 1024 come through. So 1024 is in the sequence. And I can see that Gihan has said 2047, 2047, and 2048 are in the sequence. Okay, that's enough because I'm running out of space here. So, okay. So now's your chance to type in the chat what you think the sequence is. Interesting, huh? So Ineke says, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Ineke says it's doubling or starting now. Sorry, Crystal and others have said this. It's starting and there's doubling. But you find that it's not the case, right? There's some numbers in there that obviously aren't doubles. And Dina says that. Okay. Any other guesses? As I said, this is a really simple sequence, right? You could do this in primary school. Whatever Gihan thinks is in art. No, it's not. I've got a sequence in mind. It's not the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, I'll give you the answer. The sequence is the numbers are increasing. Yeah. Okay, so Michelle just said that. It's adding in numerical order. Yeah, so the sequence is any set of numbers where the numbers are increasing. Okay, so as simple as that. I said you could do it in primary school, and you can, right? And that's it. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because you saw when people were sharing their answers and their guesses, most people were guessing numbers that they thought were in the sequence. But once you get a number like, I gave you the first two, but 128 is in the sequence, yeah, they're kind of useful, but not as useful as trying to guess things that are wrong. Because they like looking at numbers that are wrong are actually, that's a useful thing, because that will help you eliminate. So if somebody had said 77 very early on, and I said, oh, that's not in the sequence, it is in the sequence, then you go, that whole doubling thing, might as well forget about it from now, because that's definitely wrong. Okay, so part of being able to validate something is to guess things that, like, you've got an idea in your head, it's doubling, and instead of keeping guessing numbers that double, what you should be doing is testing something outside what your guess is, because that will immediately mean that you change your hypothesis. If you keep doing doubling numbers forever, you will continue going down that wrong track. Okay, and it's really important that you look for disconfirming evidence as well. So that's one of the things that I do. I look for reasons why something is wrong, rather not only things that are right or that I'd like to be right. Okay, and this is really important when you're looking at, when you're scanning for material in the world. We tend to look for the things that will confirm what we already believe or we'd like to believe. This is confirmation